even if the sun goes down on you. You gotta keep that shine on top, yeah.
Hi guys, what's up? I hope you're all doing well. My name is Ruby. If you are new to my channel, thank you so much for tuning into today's video. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back for today's video. I think this one is going to be quite helpful. So, I have officially been in quarantine in Nashville with my family, my boyfriend, and my puppy for over a month now. And I don't think we're going back to New York anytime soon, even though I miss it with all of my heart. So today I wanted to sit down and make a video for you all about 10 things that you can do while you were stuck in quarantine. Now I know that a lot of people have made a video like this, but I'm really hoping that my ideas are unique and you haven't seen them before. I feel like I'm filling my time with very different ways than a lot of other people, so I thought that this would be really helpful. And then at the end of this video, after sharing my 10 ideas, I kind of wanted to sit down and give you guys a little bit of a life update. I know I made an update like the second day that I was here in quarantine, but like I said, it's been over a month, so I wanted to kind of give a little bit of a life update too. But without further ado, I am just going to jump right into my 10 ideas of how you can spend your time while in quarantine. My first big tip, and this should come as no surprise considering how much I love fitness and how much I talk about it, is to start that workout routine you've always wanted to, but you say you've never had the time for. You guys, literally, the vast majority of us are all stuck inside with no set schedule. And I mean, how often are we going to get an opportunity like this again? And a lot of you guys have reached out to me and said you've always wanted to start working out, but you're intimidated of the gym or going to a studio. Well, now is the time to find an at-home workout routine that works for you and stick to it. To say that you simply don't have the time to like start a new workout routine or finally start working out for the first time, literally all we have on our hands right now is time. And there are so many free resources here on the internet through YouTube, Instagram, different websites. There are so many at-home workout guides that are available for free or a really, really tiny purchase. Like I've seen some incredible home workout guides available for like $20 or less, which is seriously insane. One of my favorite fitness YouTube accounts, and I've been following her for a while, and I actually have purchased her workout guide, and I just started doing it about 2 weeks ago, is Holly Dolke. She's seriously amazing. Her body is insane, and she hasn't been to a gym in years, and she got her body from literally doing super challenging at-home workouts that require no extra like material or equipment, and it's simply just using your body weight and doing HIIT workouts, strength and conditioning workouts. It's seriously so great. She has a ton of free videos available on YouTube, but if you want to step it up a little bit and you're like a gym junkie like me, then I would definitely recommend purchasing one of her workout guides too. Kind of going along with that idea, my next idea is to take pride in your food and what you are putting into your body. Guys, start cooking. Start cooking some healthy meals. You know, look on Pinterest, look on Google, I don't know, recipe blogs. Find some recipes that really excite you and learn how to make them. Not only is this going to take up time, but this is also going to, again, benefit you physically, mentally, spiritually. I feel like cooking is just like so therapeutic. I love meal prepping for myself. So again, if you've always said, oh, I would love to know how to cook for myself, I'd love to learn how to make healthy meals, I'd love to learn how to make like this meal that I eat at this restaurant all the time, now is the time to learn. My third idea is to make some playlists. This is something that I've actually been doing, and I'm almost ready to share my playlists. And so once I am, they're going to be up on Spotify, but I'm gonna post about it through my Instagram, so be sure to follow me on there if you're not already. But I am seriously such a music lover. I love finding new songs and creating playlists for different moods and for like working out. So this is something that I've been doing a lot. I've been making like a ton of like different workout playlists to like different kind of moods and vibes. It's really, really fun, and also it does take up a surprisingly like big amount of time. Seriously, I have so much respect for like my SoulCycle instructors that I take from, because like creating an 8-song workout playlist is not easy. Like getting the flow just right seriously takes time. Another thing that I have been absolutely loving is making Pinterest boards. I feel like I was kind of late to jumping on like the Pinterest trend. I've only had a Pinterest account for probably like a year and a half, but I have seriously been having so much fun recently creating new Pinterest boards. It's a way to get really creative, but also a way to, again, pass some time. Some of the boards that I've created recently or have been expanding on is a board for healthy meals. I've also been putting together a board for like summer outfit inspiration, which has been really fun. For those who don't know, I've talked about it a little bit here on this channel. My boyfriend and I are definitely going to move at the end of this year, beginning of next year. We're just looking to move and kind of upgrade into a bigger space in New York City. So even though that's still a little ways away, I've already been creating boards, getting together inspiration for like living room decoration, bedroom decoration, bathroom organization, because you guys, the bathrooms in New York are small and you have to get really creative. So I've been having a lot of fun with this. Again, I feel like it's a fun way to like be creative, you know, as somebody who like I can't draw to save my life, so that wouldn't be very fun for me. By like kind of designing my own like Pinterest boards, I feel like I'm being my own kind of artist. Does that make any sense? I don't know. Start journaling, or if you already journal, make sure to be doing it every day right now. It's no secret that I love to journal. I journal for 30 minutes every day before bed. It's the last thing I do before I go to bed, and especially right now through what we're going through in history, I feel like it's incredibly important that I document my experience on what I'm going through. It takes up time, yes, but it's also so beneficial when it comes to your mental health as well. I feel like journaling is seriously so important, and for the people who don't do it, I'm like, what? Like, how do you survive? So if you're already somebody who journals like periodically, maybe a couple times a week or once every week, start getting into the habit of doing it every day for right now, because literally all we have is time. And if you're somebody who's never journaled before, go online, do some online shopping, pick out a journal that speaks to you and start writing. I already have a video up on my channel all about how to start daily journaling, so I will link it down below if I remember, but if not, it's one of the like most recent videos on my channel and I think it's super helpful. If you've been watching my vlogs recently since being in Nashville starting to go under quarantine, or even if you just follow me on Instagram and look through my stories, it's no secret that even during this time, I'm still being super productive. I'm somebody who's lucky enough to have multiple streams of income, one of which is YouTube, so I'm still working a lot and working from home, but especially during this time where literally like all you have is time, it's really all about balance. So as productive as I am on most days, I've also been loving taking days to just binge a Netflix show or have a YouTube marathon. And that's exactly what my next idea is. Take a full day to binge that show that you've always wanted to watch, or if you're somebody like me who has a ton of videos in their watch later section on their YouTube channel for videos that they're planning on watching, take a day to binge through all of them. Obviously, I don't recommend doing this every day because even this can become very tiresome. But again, I think it's all about balance. So maybe like the day after you've had a day where you've been working nonstop and you've been super productive and like checking off every single box on your to-do list, the next day, take a day to just stare at a screen. Because again, when are we going to get the opportunity to have a schedule like this that can be so flexible? And I'm not saying that, you know, this pandemic and this quarantine is a good thing by any means, but during a time like this, you have to look at the positives. Literally, if you just dwell on like the unknown and like the situation that we're in, it's really just going to eat you up inside. So I've been really trying to like look at the positives and like look at, you know, well, typically when I work my 9 to 5 and I'm working from home on YouTube stuff and I'm auditioning, I don't have time to have a day of just like watching Netflix and binging YouTube videos. My next idea is to go for a long walk outside or take a long drive and listen to some feel-good music or a podcast. I love podcasts. I could talk about podcasts literally all day. I was listening to a podcast right before I filmed this video. And even though you can't necessarily like go anywhere during this quarantine, that's the whole point of it, is you're supposed to stay, you know, away from people and practice social distancing. Walking outside is still allowed and going for drives is still allowed. It will make you feel like you've been somewhere, and I just feel like it's a really nice way to just like clear your head and like take breaks during the day. So I've been loving like going for walks with Kevin and Dakota and listening to a podcast. A couple days ago, my dad picked us all up and we just went for like a 2-hour drive, literally just like driving through Tennessee, listening to fun music. So it kind of sounds funny, but that's a great way to pass the time. And kind of referring back to my very first tip of today's video, you know, if you're still a little afraid to like start a new workout routine, go outside and take a walk. Anytime you're bored, go outside and take a walk. I guarantee you will see physical changes in your body that you weren't even aware could happen. Okay, my 8th idea for things to do during quarantine is to declutter your digital space. I did this a couple days ago, and let me tell you, my brain feels so much lighter. Basically, what I did is I went through every single file on my desktop. I got rid of anything that didn't need to be there. I went through all of my email accounts, all of my inboxes, and made sure that I didn't have a single email that was left unread. I also went through all of the lists that I'm subscribed to, and I unsubscribed to every single list that wasn't necessary anymore. Any email list that was just sending me junk emails, and it took a long time. Like it took, I think, a full 2 2 days, but honestly, like, I'm so glad that I did it. I feel like so many of us somehow get subscribed to like 10,000 email lists, and we're like, oh, I wish I had the time to unsubscribe from all of these, but I can't, I'm too busy. Well, now you have the time, so go through it. Unsubscribe to all those email lists that drive you crazy, and it's seriously going to make your brain feel so much lighter. And that way you can really pay attention to the emails that actually need to be responded to in your inbox. I found that already by unsubscribing to like all the mailing lists that I didn't need to be on, I've become so much faster at responding to the emails that need to be responded to. And it's just overall helped me be so much more productive and work smarter, not harder, if that makes any sense. My 9th tip in today's video is to finally start that side hustle or passion project that you've been talking about. Whether it's that you've always wanted to start a YouTube channel or a podcast or a blog, now is the time to start. If you've always wanted to start a side hustle, if there's something that you're really, really good at or something that you're really, really passionate about, now's the time to start. It's a way to just use your creativity, pass the time once again, and even potentially make a little bit of extra income. Now, I'm not saying to start a YouTube channel if you are looking to make money, because it took me 7 years before I even saw my first paycheck from YouTube. But if you want to do it because you seriously think you'll love it, by all means start a YouTube channel. But I just want to say, don't go in it like thinking that it's going to be a quick way to like make money fast, because even though I'm now making paychecks from YouTube, believe me, they are not that much. If there's a service though that you feel like you could offer and do it well enough to make some money from it, go on a website like Fiverr and post some services. There are still people who are looking to hire individuals for little like one-off freelance jobs. Or even go on like your Facebook or your Instagram if you don't want to post on Fiverr, because I do know that they take a commission every time you like book a job through them. So if you don't want to do that, go on your Facebook or your Instagram and post about the services that you can offer during this time. And finally, my 10th tip is to make a list of everything you want to do once things are back to normal. Now, to be completely honest, I think it's going to be a long time before things go back to the normal that we were used to pre this pandemic. But I think that obviously the quarantine is going to end, hopefully sooner rather than later. And we're going to go back to like somewhat of a more normal life. So I have actually recently taken it upon myself to make a list of everything that I want to do once I'm back up in New York. Restaurants I want to go to, shows I really want to make sure that I'm able to see, maybe like little adventures that I can take with my boyfriend in Dakota. I feel like I never took for granted what a wonderful city New York is, but there are things that I just like didn't make time for, just because I am such a busy person. But now that we've gone through this and like we're going through this crazy time, it's really reminding me to not take my city for granted at all. I think that this is so beneficial though when it comes to your mental health, because right now it can kind of seem like this quarantine and this like self-isolation period is endless, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. We're all going to get through this. So I think it's really fun, but also like really encouraging and like inspires hope to make a list of like everything that you want to do once life is back to some sense of normalcy. Alrighty guys, so those are my 10 tips on things that you can do while you're in quarantine. I now just quickly kind of wanted to give a little bit of like a life update for those who care enough to stick around for like the second half of today's video. I promise I'll make this short and sweet because I know I talked a lot about like the 10 things that you can do. I'm in a very chatty mood. I don't get to talk to a lot of people right now. I'm stuck in quarantine in Nashville. To be like totally candid and honest, I'm actually doing really okay, which I kind of feel not selfish for saying, but just like a little weird for saying, because I know that a lot of people are, like really struggling with this quarantine and they don't really like not having a set schedule or the schedule that they're used to. But I feel like I'm a very self-disciplined person, so I've really had no trouble kind of like adapting and making my own new schedule. I've actually really enjoyed just kind of having all of the time in the world on my hands to do whatever is going to make me happy in that moment. However, something that I did want to mention is I know that in my first quarantine update video, I spoke about how at that time I was still employed by both of my jobs, and that's still true for one of them. So at the time that I filmed that update video, I was working full-time for Stuart Weitzman and part-time for Equinox, and I had just started that job about a month and a half prior to the shutdown that happened in New York City. So I'm very, very grateful and super appreciative that I'm able to say I am still employed by Stuart Weitzman and I'm still receiving paychecks from them, which I definitely do not take for granted. However, I was let go by Equinox, which I kind of knew was going to happen because I was such a new hire. I knew that if they were going to have to make cuts to employees, I was probably going to be in that first wave of that. Now, that doesn't mean that I can't go back to Equinox once this is all over, and my manager called me and we left things on like very good terms, and you know, he said that he loved having me as an employee, and I was totally welcome to like reapply once everything kind of settles. But I'm somebody whose life and schedule, you know, changes constantly, so I don't want to say that like I'm definitely going to go back there. I mean, I loved my time at Equinox, and I've always wanted to find a way to transition into like a part-time job in the fitness industry. I feel like that would complement my lifestyle as an actor perfectly. But as of right now, I don't work for Equinox anymore. I was definitely super sad when I got the email because, you know, I really enjoyed my time there. It had only been a month and a half, but I was truly loving it. However, since that was going to just be a part-time job for me, it wasn't, you know, my main source of income, or it wasn't going to be my main source of income. So I'm very thankful that I still have my job at Stuart Weitzman. I still make money from YouTube and my various side hustles that I have. I've also been really productive recently because my agent has been sending me a ton of self-tape auditions to do. So I've been keeping really busy doing that and like memorizing new scripts, which has been really fun. I don't know, I feel like obviously this is a very weird time. I don't love being in Nashville. Like, I'm really happy that I'm with my family and that we're not in the epicenter of this virus, but I miss New York with all my heart. However, I'm glad that, you know, I'm still finding ways to be productive here. I'm so thankful for my health and my family's health, and that everybody in my, you know, immediate circle is okay. So despite these crazy circumstances, honestly, even though we've been in quarantine for a really long time, I'm doing pretty good. And I hope that you guys are too. I hope that everybody watching this video is safe and healthy and as happy as possible, and washing your hands for at least 20 seconds, practicing social distancing, you know, doing everything that we can to flatten this curve so that life can get back to normal. But until that time comes, I really hope that this video was helpful. Please give it a big thumbs up if it was, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Help me grow the Ruby Rocks the World family. It would mean the absolute world to me. Follow me on all my social media networks. Links are always in the down bar below. I hope you guys are having an awesome day, night, afternoon, whenever y'all are watching this video, and I will talk to you guys in my next one. Okay? Bye, everybody.